The Wild Wild West.
All right, we're here. Welcome to Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Shane did last week. I'm here with Tony Hinchcliffe, dude.
Hell
in this
yeah.
pro-ass studio founded by Josh Cabaza. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys for doing this, man. This is fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
It's nice, dude. It's nice to be in a pro setup like this, too. I always makes me turn it on.
You guys are normally on like a slouchy couch or something like that, all slouched in.
We have handheld microphones on a couch. And you're like, it works, though.
Yeah,
It does work. But, dude, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
of course.
We're moving down. I was telling you we got settled in. It's dude, the flight was interesting because we flew with 2 kids, 2 dogs, and my wife, which was like I had talked about it the week before, and I had ordered like a vest, like dog vest. You know, they put the fucking like the shit on them.
Fake service animal vest.
And my one dog's going blind. So like we were walking through the airport, and people, I might just be paranoid, but like I think there was people, everyone in like a U.S. Air vest or whatever, I could have sworn was like sussing my dog out to see if they were legit.
Right.
And I had to act like do like pro dog trainer shit. It was like the most stressful fucking, it was terrible. And I like the microdose too. So I took like my little mushroom microdose.
Damn.
Dude, that was intense, man.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
Does the blind dog have like the creepy gray eyes?
He's getting them. They're getting cloudy.
Oh.
So, and I was trying to like act like he was all legit, and I would watch him about to walk into shit, and I would have to pull his leash. So I was kind of like leading him through the airport.
Just a reverse service animal situation.
I just had to get him here.
Blind dog with a seeing eye man.
Yeah, dude, for real. It's like his vision's going. He ate 14 chocolate cupcakes last year, and dude, it fucked him up.
Yeah.
He's never recovered. He's ate some gnarly shit. Like he's accidentally eaten mushrooms before.
Damn.
A little tiny bit, but he's been through the ringer. But the chocolate cupcakes were on him for real.
Yeah. That'll fuck
And
people up.
dude, it fucked him up.
Mhm. Were they edibles or just normal
No,
chocolate
these are
cupcakes?
regular chocolate cupcakes.
Chocolate frosting?
No, it was chocolate cake cupcakes.
Uh-huh.
And I think specifically for dogs, theobromine is like there's caffeine and then there's theobromine. And theobromine just wrecks dogs.
Yeah.
So he's going blind now. So
Damn.
I know, I feel bad. At least we got him down here. He loves the sun, so he's just been laying in the sun spot.
Yeah.
But he made the trip.
That's what blind people love. The blind people love the sun.
It's true.
The
dude.
feeling of the sun.
It's got to be the best, dude.
Yeah.
Well, he was born. We rescued him, so he was born in North Philly and was just like circling like a YMCA eating trash. So it's just crazy. I always look at him like, damn, dude, you're in Austin.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
He made it.
Who would have thought he'd make it out of the hood, dude? My dog fully made it out of the hood, eating trash.
Yeah.
Now he's eating like
Fucking,
probiotic
yeah.
pup treats, laying in the sunlight in Texas. He has no idea where the fuck he is, but
It's amazing.
the flight was cool though, man. It was fun, man. We had to ask someone. We're like, we'll just ask someone to switch seats with us so we could all like sit together. It's fucking. It was Bernard Hopkins.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was the executioner. So my wife's like, yeah, like I was pretending to be a dog trainer like throughout the airport. So I'm walking around and my wife's like, yeah, they're saying it's like some guy. He was like a boxer or something. Like, I'm just going to talk to myself. And I was like, dude, please stop. Don't
Yeah.
say anything. Yeah, dude, he's the nicest guy in the world. He was coming down here, I think, to do Rogan's podcast.
Yeah. One of the all-time greats, the executioner.
Yeah, dude, he was super nice, super gracious to, he was like, yeah, no, he's allergic to dogs, but he was just
Really?
like, yeah, and I was like, fuck. He just felt like the biggest asshole, and dude, it sucked.
It's like I'm allergic to dogs, but not actual service dogs. He's just sneezing and coughing.
It's actually a legal ADA requirement. Yeah, it's illegal for you to be allergic to these dogs. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a trek down here. 2 little kids, 2 dogs, and just fucking.
It's crazy when B-Hop, who's been hit tens of thousands of times, has better eyesight than your dog.
I know, dude. And especially my wife was like, I'll talk to him myself. I'm like, dude, please don't start talking shit to this. She has no idea who he is. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna get my ass kicked
Yeah.
in the airport with my fake dogs, dude.
Yeah. Do not talk shit to Bernard Hopkins.
I'll be
She's like, this black guy has quite the attitude sitting next to us.
my wife's black, dude. She has the attitude.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
she would have popped off. She would have went and popped off. It's not like
Right.
a white lady going up to an old black dude. This is a youngish black lady going up and popping off, dude. She
Shit.
has no fucking respect, dude. I should,
Damn.
Sorry, but either way,
Yeah.
thanks for doing this, man.
No, of course. Pumped.
Yeah, man. So how is it down here? Is this good, you're saying?
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. It's the fucking best.
Nice.
Everything that, I spent almost 2 decades in Los Angeles and I thought it was great until the shit hit the fan. You know, when you're at a place and
COVID shit, or was it just like
that and
political stuff?
George Floyd riots hit my neighborhood specifically.
Yeah,
all
true.
that shit that was on the national news, that was literally my street. Like that was my actual little, like I'm talking about like a 20, 30 step walk around a corner was 3rd and Fairfax.
Damn, especially
and that's it. Those cop cars that are on fire and everything, that's literally, I mean, I'm talking about not like people say like, oh, down the block. Oh, I live a walk away. I'm talking about like,
oh God.
I'm talking about like a 15-second walk.
So
all that shit. That's my Chase Bank. That's my coffee shop. That's my Whole Foods. That's my Trader Joe's.
How dare they?
Yep. Yeah, I lived right on the other side of that.
Oh,
just
man.
on the other
So
side.
you're not talking about just like a harsh vibe. This was like
Gotham City.
seriously bad shit.
Oh, all the way.
We had it in Philly a little bit. It was like a couple of the cop cars did get like torched and stuff, but it wasn't as bad as this, what it looks like, but it was pretty gnarly. The worst part would have been like the struggling actors being out there and being like, get the fuck out, you fucking dork. Get out of here.
They were all fucking, they were in the tornado position in their homes, these cowards. Me and my buddy, Rick Kosick, who was my longtime neighbor, and he's the camera guy for the Jackass movies. You see him all the time back there throwing up and fucking getting fake cum thrown on him and shit.
Oh, man.
But anyway, we're homies and we were very close as neighbors, and the whole thing was happening. You know, those are all daytime pictures. So what you're seeing there is like 3 p.m., 5 p.m. That's the sun out. What you don't see is what we saw, which was we went out for a walk at fucking 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it was like the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire, every single inch of everything was covered in graffiti, and people without license plates were just pulling up and breaking a window that was existing of a business that we all know the owners of. Again, that's our dry cleaners. That's our barber. That's our coffee shop. That's our cupcake shop. That's our blind dog cupcake shop. You know what I mean? Everything. And to watch it happen and to know the owners and to know what they went through, and then they built it and then they were thriving, and then just crash or fire. You know, they lit the Trader Joe's that was literally, there was just an alleyway separating our apartment building from this Trader Joe's. They lit it on fire.
It is funny thinking about all those dudes in Hawaiian shirts being like, dude, stop. Dude, seriously. Yeah, later Trader Joe's, that's...
Yeah, come on. The cheap shit's just flammable.
Kind of a hate crime, too, dude. Burning down a Whole Foods is like, all right, dude, that's kind of politically motivated.
Yeah. But it was crazy to see, and it kind of like ruined it for us. I don't know what it's like to have like a wife get raped in front of you.
Yeah.
But I'd imagine this is like 3% at least. I'm afraid there's some guy that's watched his wife get raped listening right now.
Yeah,
it's like, you don't even know what it was like.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Don't use that as an analogy. I watched my wife get raped. But it's what it felt like, you know.
If you're out there, that's terrible, dude.
Yeah.
Although it is a good thing, because that's where that's starting to go.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as everything's on fire, it's like the next thing on everyone's mind is like,
and all it
takes,
motherfucking
posy.
Yeah. But all it takes is one time of watching your actual neighborhood like have that happen to it. That's what I learned. A lot of other people, you know, that didn't live in my hood stayed, and they're there and whatever. They rationalize still enjoying Los Angeles.
Yeah, I had more like, I would look outside and I'd see a bunch of like stocky lesbians trudging up my street, and I'd be like, what the hell are these guys up to? And then I was like, oh, okay. And I saw, you know, mine wasn't that bad.
Right.
But there were like the firebomb. I would talk to guys who were down there at those fire bombings, and like, yeah, that was fucked up, but it was kind of cool to see. And I'm like, well, it's pretty fucked, dude. That's not a good, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if it's that widespread. It's like, because Philly keeps having, you know, lootings and all this stuff, and it's like, dude.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, the gig's kind of up, man.
I had to reschedule a theater there for the first time in my life a couple weeks ago. The flight got delayed by 4 hours. All the backup plans were New York, New Jersey, Baltimore, and that was the day that they all flooded out. And then it's like, okay, we were going to get a jet for the first time ever. And I'm like, okay, I'll just fucking break even, get the jet. These people need to laugh. And then one of my openers, Cam Patterson's dad, flew to Philly and got there super early. And he's like, it took me 3 hours to get from the airport to the hotel downtown. And this was at like 1:30 p.m.
Yeah.
But everything was so fucked up in the afternoon that it took them 3 hours during the main lootings that are happening there. So we're just like, fuck it. It's impossible to fucking make it. So we had to reschedule a theater because the lootings in Philly.
Yeah, that's not
people just letting people take shit.
It was the Apple Store. Although someone Meatball was brought to justice. Did you see the story about she was like an influencer? She's like a 21-year-old chick who was filmed herself on camera on social media being like, fuck yeah, we're here. We're looting. She got caught right away, obviously.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, her grandmother chastised her, though. Her grandmother went on camera like, this is bullshit. We shouldn't be doing this.
Damn, Meatball.
Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah.
And that was in Philly?
That's a sorry, Meatball. Yeah, Meatball came out. She's
so technically you're
popping on Instagram. I think she's got more fucking followers.
So at one point in Philly, your dog's eyes were cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
Yeah. Meatballs could have got, she could have gotten my dog. No, she was there like cheering on people stepping on iPhones, which is even like, dude, at least just take the fucking iPhone. Don't break it. Yeah. Take it. At least do something with it. Jesus Christ, man. I'll just break iPads.
It's so crazy. It's literally the dumbest place to loot. You've seen what they do, right? What Apple does if you loot them?
No.
They send an alert. This is another thing that happened. I lived next to an Apple store.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like a 1.5-minute walk from an Apple store. And that night they trashed it, and then they showed the alert that Apple puts on all the devices. They send out a thing
they're all tracked.
That literally says, we know that you looted this phone, return it, or we're sending the police directly to it.
They give a...
Like it's like, this phone is inoperable. We know that you looted this.
Oh yeah. Pretty sci-fi dystopian too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Very Blade Runner-esque.
Yeah.
And it's funny, it's just like a 12-year-old kid, like, what the fuck is
right. Yeah, I just bought this for $50. This sucks.
What the fuck? I'm being tracked by Skynet.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Me and Josh were talking extensively about how bad things are looking for, a lot of people right now. And it's like, yeah, dude, it sucks, but got to figure it out, man. You can't be smashing. It just doesn't work. The smash and grab doesn't fucking work. I knew kids. I worked in a high school for a little bit. I knew kids that were trying to do like fraud's the big thing now, like scamming. I'd always tell these kids, I'm like, dude, you're going to get caught, dude.
Yeah.
These guys are spending. They'd be like high school kids on like Venmo. Like I got like $50 from another account. And it's like, dude, these banks spend hundreds of millions of dollars. They're gonna get you.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna get. You're not getting. And there's people now that just scam young scammers because it's like it's hard to sell drugs now. Like you can't really do it like that anymore. If you're like a young kid living in like the inner city, it's like it's not really an option to like bust down a fucking kilo of cocaine. At least not anymore. It's like it's everything's tracked, everything's getting cracked down.
Yeah, and fentanyl.
Yeah, and it's selling fed actually is probably pretty profitable for a young kid.
Yeah,
they should be selling fentanyl. What the fuck are they breaking these fucking stores?
Exactly. You got to go with where the market leads you.
Dude. The hell, man. There's a bunch of fentanyl sitting there getting cold, dude. We need to move that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're breaking into fucking stores and
it all comes from China. Everything we're talking about, fentanyl, iPhones.
Yeah, China did cause these riots. If you think about it, dude, they really did start the looting. They didn't make this nice fucking shit.
They made the easily breakable glass in the front of all these stores.
Except they keep the good glass for themselves though.
Oh yeah,
it gets deeper, dude. Because that glass you can't break.
Right. At the restaurants.
Yeah, it is crazy. They're still able to chill behind bulletproof glass. It's pretty shitty. If I walked in like a big impenetrable bubble in a black neighborhood, people would be like, hey, man, knock that the fuck off, dude. You can't. If I walked in like a bulletproof Technodrome, people would be like, dude, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to I'm going to start petitioning little like Chinese stores in the hood. Just be like, remove the bulletproof glass now. I don't think it'll work. All right. Anyway, on to other things, dude. Well, no, man. Yeah, that sucks. That's actually, I never thought of it like that. That is like terrifying, like seeing what looks like third world level unrest.
It was kind of crazier than third world because it was so concentrated in that neighborhood. They really wanted to leave their imprint there. Granted, the next day, all the local like good people were out there. It was kind of crazy. They were all scrubbing the fucking sidewalks, the telephone poles, sweeping up the glass. I mean, the recovery was so fast, and that was just like the spirit of the neighborhood. But the damage had been done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, it's like if you watch your wife get raped, and then all of a sudden the doctor's just stitching her pussy back together again. You still know.
Now the analogy actually makes more sense now.
You still feel the stitches when you put it back in there.
Yeah, true.
It's scrapey.
Yeah.
They haven't disintegrated yet.
True.
Yeah. Again.
And obviously you're not going to wait.
Right. Again, if there's anybody listening who watched their wife get raped, again, I apologize, but it's the perfect analogy.
If you check sometimes you check you check the graphics and shit on Libsyn and whatnot, and you do see like these weird little islands in the Pacific, and you're like, damn, who the fuck's listening from there? Yeah. Could be that guy, could be on that island being like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, fuck this.
Never again. Just being like, you know what? I'm not listening. This isn't for me.
Right.
I've gave this podcast a chance. It's not for me. I'm going to go do other stuff.
It was all fun and games until.
Yeah. Well, it is funny to think about, like, you get caught in those YouTube holes of like, there's been like moral decay and we've all fallen so far. And I was talking to my brother today, and it was kind of like a weird story, but on an unrelated note, mushrooms are getting way stronger now. A lot of people don't know this. Everyone's always like, oh, like weed used to not be that strong. Now it's stronger. Mushrooms are getting like 5 times stronger. So like now people get a gram of mushrooms, it'd be like you're taking like an eighth. Mm-hmm. So we were talking about that because he was actually testing out. He like tried these mushrooms. They ended up being like 2.5 grams. Ended up being what he was like. This felt like fucking a quarter ounce of mushrooms.
Totally.
And the whole point of that is like after it kind of broke, he was sitting there listening to like 60s doo-wop music for whatever reason. And he was like, dude, I just couldn't get over, like, this used to be, you'd be at a high school dance with the lady you'd probably marry on like your last hurrah before like hitting the army or a fucking factory. And that was your whole fucking life. Yeah. And I was like, damn, that does kind of make that music hit a little harder, dude. Yeah. Slow dancing with the one. Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm done. This is it. I'm in high school. Now it's total drudgery. Yeah. Death, probably drudgery. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's not that anymore. All I'm saying is prom is bullshit now. Right. Prom was like a real thing. Like we were talking about prom yesterday. It's like prom was like a momentous occasion. Now it's like nothing, dude. Oh yeah. Anyone at prom, you can hit them with like plus probably 15 sexual partners. That's nothing. Yeah. So
no doubt. And I've been going to these cities.
I might raise awareness at proms. That's what get that bulletproof class and be like, just so you guys know.
Yeah, the times have changed. They had nothing back then. You used to have to dial a rotary phone to get pussy back then.
Yeah, maybe get pussy, yeah.
And they had to pick up. You didn't want their parents to pick up, whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole different time.
That would have been exciting, though, to just like call. You'd have to call people and be like, I have my naked penis. Because you'd have to basically autograph it.
Or show up to their
a dick pic. Yeah. Like, I have my naked penis is out right now. I'm sorry, Mrs. Miller. My penis is out right now.
Or you'd have to show up with like a boombox outside of their actual house. True. Playing music with your naked penis out.
You'd have to flash.
Yeah.
You'd have to flash women back in the good old days. Flashing's a wild one.
Crazy.
Flashing is
like a code or something.
I'd pay money not to show people my penis. Yeah. I can't understand when dudes just like, is it like do people who flash have like gigantic penises or something? I don't think that's the case.
You know, I've only sent one dick pic in my entire life ever. And I was very, very nervous about it. So what I did is you know how Bic lighters, like there's the normal size Bic lighter and then there's that little Bic lighter. So for I think you already know where I'm going with this. So for what do they call it? For size, what's that called?
Scale.
For scale, I put the little Bic lighter next to my erect penis.
Fucking genius, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
So it just looks like it's like a fucking forearm. Yeah. It's like one of the most brilliant things I've ever done.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
It's a good move. What was it like? So what is it like waiting the response for that? Because a normal text is like fucking pins and needles. But if I put my penis out there, I'd go.
Well, I
want some immediate feedback.
I knew I had an advantage using the little Bic. If I used the normal Bic, I would have been really nervous like about the response.
Barbecue grill lighter. Like, fuck,
it's just the size of the trigger.
Yeah, I might start getting into sending like dick pics to my wife. Now, because I can send her one like on the minute. She can't really say anything about that.
Right.
It's totally fine. Because they try to say like it's bad now. That's not what stopped me. My incredibly small penis stopped me. I'm not saying it was like a moral stance against him. I just didn't do that. But
well, I mean, the only people that can really break into it, the Chinese make these phones, and if they see your dick, that's basically a black cock to them.
True.
It's just massive.
Yeah, dude. I think it's a misdemeanor. Yeah, Class C misdemeanor to send any basically nudity to people that is not requested.
Penal code.
It is a penal code, dude.
That's a perfect, finally a good usage.
That's to a minor too.
Oh.
Can you get in trouble for sending dirty pictures to of yourself? Sexting has to be legal. Texas. I'd like for someone to strike that down.
Yeah.
Someone's like, I'm hot right now. It's like, don't do this. Yeah, hit that one. Can you get in trouble for sending dirty pictures of yourself? That's what I want to know.
Sexting.
I'm about to send a picture of my butthole to my wife right now. Get ready.
Yeah. Does she know what your butthole looks like exactly?
Dude, she has a weird obsession with my butthole.
Really?
Yeah, she's always asking if I have like anything up with it. Like we both had pretty vicious diarrhea. I was in Rochester 2 or 3 weeks ago. We brought my whole family up. Me and her just had like the most ridiculous diarrhea. And if I'm on the toilet that much, I've been known to get a hemorrhoid.
Yeah.
So I get big boys too. So I was like, I'm washing my ass. I'm like, oh fuck, I know I have a hemorrhoid. She has to see it. I was like, no, you can't see it. And she's like, just let me look. There might be something. And she has to just like check it and be like, yeah, you have a big ass hemorrhoid. You have like shit in there. I'm like, all right, get the fuck out of my asshole. She's obsessed. She actually taught me. I've talked about this before. She taught me how to clean my ass. I didn't know.
How do you do it?
You get a wet fucking rag. You get like a wet towel and you put soap on it and you're supposed to clean your asshole every day. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like
what?
Dog ass. Yeah, I had like a dog ass. No, I was just like you guys knew you're supposed to clean your asshole every day?
Yeah.
I thought you just wipe it. That's what wiping it was.
Oh shit.
I never cleaned my asshole until I was like 30. My wife basically like bent me over and cleaned my ass.
Wow.
I didn't know. Dude, no one taught me how to clean myself. I didn't know.
Wow.
Who taught you guys how to wipe your assholes?
You were just itchy all the time?
Yeah, I always had an itchy ass, dude. I was just like, I thought that was just like man shit.
Are you the oldest kid?
No,
Are you the oldest out of your
6,
siblings?
Middle of 6.
Middle of 6. See, I'm the youngest of 5. So by a lot, there's like a big gap.
I learned.
So my mom was like a very, very like black belt mom at the time. And she always made cleanliness a really big deal. But I have kind of an equivalent to that, which is she never taught me to drink water.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So I was raised like on like, Pepsi and Coke. And I'm not kidding. I was dehydrated until like 3 years ago. And I'm 39.
Dude.
But like I didn't know I was dehydrated the entire time.
You were just fucked up.
Totally.
Yeah, that kills you.
And I was drinking, especially in my fucking 20s at the Comedy Store where the Thai bartenders would literally laugh as they poured you a glass of whiskey. Like, drink.
Yeah.
And like we would. I used to, you know what I mean? Back in the day, we would have like fucking 20 drinks or whatever in a night. And I'd wake up kind of hungover. My body was just absorbing it. And I had no idea that water would have helped.
That got me in college. When I was in like my early mid-20s, I thought that people just drank like beverages to push food down their throats. I didn't know you needed it to live.
I think it's a Midwest thing, by the way.
I think it's like the Northeast.
Oh, okay.
So I was just kind of like
upstate New York?
Not like Philadelphia, right outside of Philly. So I was like, I was like, I thought you just like drink stuff to push your dinner down your throat. So I didn't know you're supposed to like hydrate your body either. And I told my mom, I used to try things where like my cousin tried to not sleep. My cousin was like, I don't think I need to sleep. And he like stayed up for, I think he did like maybe 48 hours and just fucking crashed.
Yeah.
So now I was like, yeah, you definitely need to sleep. And then when I was in my 20s, I was always trying to save money and shit. And I was obsessed with like trying to save up money. And I remember being like, I'm just going to not buy beverages. That way I'll just buy lunch and I'll save money on bevs. Like thinking I was like denying myself a luxury or whatever. Dude, I got like I just didn't drink anything for like a day. And I got a splitting fucking headache. And I was calling my mom like, dude, my head is killing me.
Yeah.
She's like, have you drank water? I was like, why? What the fuck is that gonna do? She was like, you need to drink water. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, you need that.
It's crazy. It's the most simple thing. It was never told to me.
No.
Never taught to me. And
dude, imagine if iced tea wasn't so delicious, we'd both be dead right now.
Yeah.
We would have been dried on the side of the road, just fucking like
yeah. From fucking uneducated dehydration.
I know. But yeah, dude, I got
And now, by the way, when I drink a lot of water, and for a while, I mean, I started doing hot yoga a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, this hot yoga is the shit. I feel so good.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And it is, and it was, and it is. But I realized only when I'm doing hot yoga am I drinking a couple liters of water in a day.
Yeah.
And now, if I don't do hot yoga and I drink that amount of water, I feel like I have superpowers because half of it was the fucking water. Just drinking water. It was just I didn't want to die in hot yoga because you sweat so much that you're like, I have to drink water.
So you're enjoying your blood like moving through your body.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is
slowly,
amazing. It's not a thick paste.
Right, exactly.
What is it? Yeah, the hot yoga is crazy. I tried that years ago. I would have left. It was so hot in there. I was like, I was gonna leave. And it was just a bunch of like moms sitting there. And I was like, fuck, they can't be tougher than me.
Well, there's tricks to it. A lot of people like eat beforehand and you can't do that.
No,
Yeah. And it has to be water and it has to be like an hour before. You can't just chug it right before.
Yeah.
I see it happen to people all the time. But
there is something to like getting your like a fluid. It's like an oil change. You just sweat it. If I don't sweat for like a week, dude, I feel disgusting.
Totally,
it's gross. And when you get that like oil change, you're moving the fluid. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
I took a buddy, Keith Ray. He's a door guy at the Comedy Mothership, and he is just, I don't even know how to describe it. He was, I don't know. I think he's sober right now. Right now, he's one of those guys.
Yeah,
but
sober October, or he's like, oh, you're saying
he's like trying.
Yeah, I knew a guy. We were making fun of him because we're making fun of him because his dad was a drunk or his boss or one or the other, and he was like, he's not an alcoholic. He quits drinking all the time. And I was like, dude, are you fucking serious? He was like 18. He's like, he's not an alcoholic. He quits drinking constantly. Dude, like for real. I swear it was the funniest shit I've ever heard. It was his boss too, because we're like, your boss is a drunk, and he's like, my boss isn't a drunk. He's a good guy. Like he's a fucking drunk.
He quits drinking all the time. Oh my god!
It was like a dialogue, like a comedy scene. It was and he like stood by it. I'm like, dude, don't you understand that makes him an alcoholic?
Right. If someone's if you know that they quit drinking, if they're talking about how they're not drinking, that means they have a terrible problem.
Yeah, yeah. Not just the Lent. I know a lot of people. I got a lot of people in my family like, I'm not drinking for Lent. Lent's a big one. That's kind of like. Yeah, I got a lot of uncles white knuckling Lent. Just like, oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. But I took this homie Keith Ray to hot yoga. I'm like, you know what you should do? Because he's like, man, I want to quit drinking. I mean, his like, you see like black holes in his pores. Like he was like disgusting. And I'm like, you should come meet me here at this time. Blah 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 blah. And I show up, and I had to like park kind of far away that time. And I remember because I was looking at the front door of the place, and I see a guy out there smoking a cigarette, like right out front of the front door, which in hot yoga world is kind of like, I'm like dreading. I'm like, oh god, this is my guy that I invited, and the fucking instructors know me. You never
smell cigarettes either, because he's gonna stink like that too.
Totally. And but long story short, he fucking did it. He pushed it, and he literally came out. He walked out. Literally looking like 5 to 10 years younger. Yeah. In an hour.
Yeah.
Changed it dumped all of this fucking sludge.
Shit. Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, the worst is like I did that a lot for a while, and like you feel so loose and kind of light, and then like I would get angry and feel myself just be like, oh Jesus no, and you turn back into your shitty self, and you're like, fuck, you know, I have a place right down the street from me I want to start going to.
Yeah.
Because that was my favorite thing I've ever done. I've done jiu-jitsu for a while. That was cool, but it was like that was just, it becomes like an obsession.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the moves, dude. I just can't. They're like, your leg goes here, and I'm like, bro, let me try to choke you, man.
And then you're sore all the time.
You're fucked
your
all the
fucking
time.
neck hurts.
Yeah, you're all
the time.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yoga is like nothing but just benefits.
Yeah.
Someone could come beat your fucking ass, but it's like whatever. Dude.
Yeah.
Someone can always beat my ass.
Totally.
Get a gun. That's the thing that crushes jiu-jitsu, dude. It's like, I got a gun.
Yeah. If you got hot yoga and a 9mm, you're good.
And your body feels great.
Yeah.
That is a fun thing to do.
And your brain feels great.
True. Yeah. You're not getting bludgeoned. Although it is fun. It is fun to wrestle.
Yeah.
It's fun to wrestle, but I can't do it, man.
I saw Keith's lowest point. They're handing out waters to homeless people, and they saw Keith, and they're like, here you go.
Oh, you know Keith Ray?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
They gave him water, and he was like, thank you so much.
I peeped the table, though. In Philly, I'd have to walk every day. I'd walk back past this like table, like the homeless buffet, and I'd peep it. I'm like, what do you guys got? Because it looks all right. It was like soup and hot dogs. I was always like, not bad.
A little hot sauce.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had the condom inside, and I was kind of like, this isn't so fucking bad. I've thought about it before, of just getting out there, and it's like, well, it's got to be brutal. Just like, you know, like you were saying, like, you know, getting raped in like a tent and shit, whatever. That sucks. But like, once you get that down, it's got to be kind of chill.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Kidding me? No worries.
Kuna Matata. It's a totally Kuna Matata. It's a Kuna Matata. If you can do it right, if you can do it right, if you can keep like an abscess in check, if you have like a huge fucking hole in your leg,
right?
That you shoot heroin. If you can get that thing under order,
and
just cop meals and like soak up sun rays, that's not bad. I see the draw. I see the draw. Yeah. It's a lifestyle.
Of course,
it's a lifestyle.
Of course. Like if you were given like 2 lives, I would waste one on that. I would live this one as my like main life, and then I would just try all the drugs, live on the streets. There's food. I mean, it's crazy. The thing about Austin is, you know, people complain about the homeless here, but I mean, New York, LA, they're absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's migrants and shit, which are basically homeless people that can't even speak English.
True.
So, but what's weird about Austin is at some point, I found this out, some liberal, ultra liberal mayor took over and decided to put the homeless feeding place in downtown. So like
they call it a feeding place.
I don't know what it's called. I guess so. I call it.
I mean, it is a feeding place. Yeah, it is technically a feeding place.
Yeah,
that's the big thing down on 6th Street.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the meals.
Yeah, that's the one.
They took the meals off wheels and put them in the building.
Yeah, and they put it right near fucking tourists, like.
The first time I came here, I was like, this is fucking nuts. Right. I just came right down to the creek and cave, in that whole area. And I'm like, man, this is fucked down here.
And the creek and the cave, you know, they're wondering why they got such a good deal on it. Literally right across the street from the epicenter of it all.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, that is the place. So that feeding place, their trough, the human trough, you know, that's the whole thing. Yeah, so the reason why there's people down at like Congress and 6 is because they walked from the trough to there, and then they're heading right back.
And there's a ton of alleys right around there too, which are also perfect.
There it is.
Yeah, dude, I came.
Look at them with the little rainbow font. Oh, nothing crazy here.
Is that the party?
Oh shit.
Dude. No way. They're fucking bonking like that.
Oh shit.
Dude, but here's the thing though. So like, bright side in this, double helpings of chili. Now you're at the sleepover. That's 50 fucking beds.
Yeah.
There's so much drugs. That would be, I could see people making the most out. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to sound like, you know, like elitist or whatever, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like once you get your feet underneath, man, I feel like you could really you'd have some fun times.
Yes.
And then it's just like the worst shit you could imagine.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't even Mondays or whatever must be like nasty shit, dude. Just dudes just drop it. Your boy would drop dead.
What's crazy is all these people know that they need to wash their ass.
Dude, I saw a lady piss on a bus stop when I was here, sat on a bench, pulled her pants down, pissed on it, then she got up and wiped. And I was like, that's not bad.
I saw a video of a chick in Vegas sitting at a slot machine pissing. Can you look that up real quick? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I could get into that,
dude.
Though.
You're gonna love this.
Probably jerk off to that.
It is kind of hot. Yeah, you're gonna love this.
Was she losing money? Because I don't think I could come unless she was losing money visibly.
Oh yeah, this is the one. Look at this, dude.
Stop. Oh, she's like a rich lady peeing.
Oh yeah, she's got the nice purse on the phone, just letting it rip.
No,
thinking she's being sly.
That's gotta be fucking Photoshop.
No.
She just fucking peed.
Yeah, just peeing in Vegas, baby.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
She's kind of starting to trend.
Yeah.
Dude, what happens in Vegas, dude? I'm going to start peeing and shitting myself.
Yeah, it's like a promo for Skankfest.
Yeah, true. How was that? Were you down there?
It was fun. Yeah, so much fun. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be. Because it gets bigger every year. So I imagine this year was just like fucking insanity.
Well, I do this thing. Not on purpose. My managers and agents always double book me for some reason, even though I tell them, I warn them, like, hey, keep an eye on Skankfest. Don't schedule me for that. But 2 years in a row, I end up going in on the Sunday.
Nice.
So
you pop in for that last day or something?
Yeah, but I go extra hard to overcompensate for not doing the whole weekend. So I do like 2 podcasts and 4 stand-up shows and then the comedy jam at the end. Like I'm
That's fun.
I'm an idiot. I end up getting like half sick every time. Everybody was sick this year. It was basically COVID fest.
Yeah, I know. That's what I heard. I heard there was like, there's always, unfortunately, there's usually there's a lot of like, drugs and stuff. There's almost always somebody who brings something back from there and kind of bites the dust.
Yeah.
But not their fault, but it's like I would always hear rumors about that, like, oh, someone died, someone brought some shit back and died of fentanyl.
Oh shit, I didn't know about that.
I could just be making this up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I heard that before, but somebody died. I think I was just reading too many YouTube comments. It's like somebody died from heroin. That's kind of fast. I just made that up and put it out in the internet, but yeah, it happens. I know someone who lost 2 kids from
damn
coke, fentanyl,
damn,
and then it was like the good kid from fentanyl.
Oh, terrible.
So shitty. So shitty.
Yeah, I don't do coke ever, but
yeah, me either. I don't do that stuff, man. I never did it too.
Me neither.
I've never done it, and everyone's always like, "Dude," I'm like, "No, I had no interest." I was surrounded by it too. I used to sell coke when I was younger.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool to do that because I listened to rap and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sell fucking coke."
It seems like a theme is oblivious things that we didn't notice until we were older. But here's one for you: is that I didn't notice that everybody around me was on coke forever.
Oh no!
And
you're in LA.
I'm like a late night guy. Like I thrive at. I really don't wake up until like 10 p.m. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Those are like the hours that I'm really having fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, forever. I've always been that way since I was a kid. I couldn't sleep. I'd be watching Letterman when I was like 6 years old. Anyway, but like since I got into the Comedy Store, a lot of my favorite times, obviously midnight to like 4 a.m. And I'd be cracking up with people. All my favorite people were all on blow and I had no idea. And they like kept it secret from me because they all knew that like, oh, Tony's already got the energy. Like he doesn't, we better not. No one wanted to be the guy to get me hooked on coke. Plus I'm like an addictive personality, coffee and cigarettes all day. And bit of drinking at night.
Oh, so it would pair. Yeah, that's why I'm so happy I've never done it.
Oh,
it's
totally.
Like coffee, I can hardly handle coffee. I'm super sensitive to caffeine. I still can't not have it.
Right.
Coke would have crushed me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It would have annihilated
Same exact boat. If I feel like if I would have tried just a little bit once, I think about it a lot.
The little bit is seductive.
Yeah.
Like just a teeny, because then you can draw the comparison. Because there's that guy from Columbia University. He's a professor. He's like, I do heroin, I do coke. Coke's even cleaner than coffee if you can just do a tiny little bit of it.
Wow.
He's all about it. I forget this guy's name.
Columbia, I think that's a little bit different. Columbia and 6th Street are two different things
true.
when it comes to cocaine.
Yeah, dude. This guy just like he's like, there's nothing like a little bit of heroin by a fireplace.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, you just fucking, it's like fair enough, man. Maybe.
And that, again, that does sound awesome. And from what I hear from 100% of people that have done heroin, there's absolutely positively nothing like it.
Yeah, now that you're saying that, it's like, yeah, everyone does get a pretty good rap for being awesome. So he's trying to say like, we can totally do this stuff.
Yeah. A 100% batting average heroin has over everything. And I've talked to some of my heroin addict recovered friends, and I'm like, okay, so let's say you just found out you won the lottery and you're getting your dick sucked and you're eating your favorite food at the same time. They're like, nope, nothing like it. Not even close.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's nothing like it according to them.
God damn it.
So that's another thing. Like if I had that second life, I would just be out there fucking burning the spoon.
And then you get to get off of it and be like, guys, I fucking did it. I'm off this shit.
Yeah, nobody's ever really. Heroin's one of those things that they think about forever.
Yeah.
If they ever enjoy anything, they're like, wow, this is like 1% of heroin.
True. Yeah, I was researching the dopamine. Like, I was trying to figure out how much dopamine I get every time I look at my phone because I'm like super addicted. I mean, I'm okay with it. But because I think like if you have a piece of chocolate, it increases your dopamine like 10% in your brain. I think meth is like 5,000 to 10% dopamine. Heroin's got to be even more. And it's like, dude, you're ramping up which is supposedly like the enjoyment thing in your brain.
Totally.
By 10,000%. That is tough to come back from.
Yeah.
Because I'm not hitting 10,000% on anything. So I'm safe. Yeah. I can deal with like mundane shit and just be like, all right, this is fine. But yeah, it's oh yeah, hell yeah. Dude, you're fucking fast as hell, dude. God damn, Josh. Yeah. Look, that's neurons. I know those ones. It's a synaptic cleft.
Ooh.
Do you believe in that shit? That you have little balls of shit floating around between gaps in your brain shooting sparks at each other, and if you just fucking change the colors of the balls, you'll be happy. I wish it was that easy, man.
Yeah. More red, less blue.
Yeah, dude, I need more blue up in there, dude. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm telling you, I tried to Google this. I couldn't find it, but I did see something, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, meth in the brain.
Did you know that 35% of all car accidents occur between 6 p.m. and midnight, and the highest amount of drivers involved in car crashes are people aged 25 to 34? That's probably you, dude. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 law offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers. Morgan & Morgan, I already read that. With over $15 billion recovered, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people for over 35 years. Chatting up with sweet baby girls is hard. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/drenched or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/drenched or pound law, pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement, in case you were wondering.
You're a dude, and your home decorating choices are boring. Keep your walls looking awesome with metal posters from Displate. Displate takes just 20 seconds to install and won't damage your walls. Just pop the magnetic sticker on the wall, hang the poster, and you're good to go. You can even submit your own art to get printed for something totally unique and custom. Whoa. Personal endorsement, I look at this sometimes. I look at it and I go, things aren't so bad. Check out their officially licensed designs from Star Wars, Doom, West Ham, and more. West Ham. The soccer team? Yeah, there you go. Come on, you hammers. Get the Displate for the hammers. That's fucking cool. Save up to 34%. Save up to 34% off when you click the link in our description and get your ready to hang art. The discount will automatically be applied to your cart when you click our link. Use code DRENCHED when you visit displate.com to get the discount. That's displate.com/drenched or click the link in our show notes. So yeah, look at that. That could be in your apartment or house. You could have that. It sounds like thunder, so you can scare your cats and dogs. All right.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. The next time you want to eat your feelings or drink your sorrows, turn to BetterHelp. Their online therapy gives you a place to express your emotions, work through problems, and make important decisions with guidance. BetterHelp is entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Bill, how's BetterHelp helped you?
How's BetterHelp helped you?
I want to kill myself.
Yeah, but has BetterHelp made you feel like you don't want to do it?
I can't open up to them.
You can't open up to anyone.
Dude, don't tell us. Don't fucking dox where we're going. You're fucking doxing our route. Head into the fall season with a clear mind.
That's not a good personal endorsement.
Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/MSSP today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/MSSP. Is there meth here too? Is it like, because I know meth is more West Coast, heroin's East Coast. Do they meet in the middle here?
I'm not sure what the fuck these people are on, but I don't think it's meth. They're a little bit slouchy. It's a little bit like.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's opiates of the masses.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, that shit out. And like, I was out in the Pacific Northwest, and it's like, those dudes are tweaking out there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every time I walk by them, I'm ready, dude. I'm like, dude,
totally.
It's a full Street Fighter fight.
Both of my older brothers live in Venice Beach, California, which, again, when I was hanging out around there, really goofing around 15, 20 years ago, was the most chill fucking, what's up, man? Yeah. So, like, hippy dippy, so cool, tie-dye everything.
That's what I thought it was.
It was like that? California, like what you think of when you hear like a Red Hot Chili Pepper song. And now it is like a guy with an axe chasing normal humans. Like that is methy. It's methy out there.
We gotta have a battle. We gotta have the West Coast meth versus the fucking heroin guys.
Oh,
and
the meth people are gonna
it'd be the Vikings. It'd be the Vikings
Exactly.
versus like
this is war.
True.
The other people are just fucking.
Yeah, it would be like Vikings raiding Nepal. It'd be a gruesome fucking battle.
It's marijuana and fentanyl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard all the coke here has fentanyl.
Yeah.
You got to test it. It just has to have the right amount of fentanyl.
To get you. Oh, you're saying the right amount to be good.
The right amount to be good. So the real coke guys have testers.
Oh,
they test it.
See, that's the thing. For me, if I'm partying and I got to do like a fucking experiment in the middle of it, it's like I'm done.
Totally.
I'm going home.
Right.
I don't want to have to fucking like get a beaker and swish around. I mean, that is kind of like sick ass shit from a movie, like Purple, and be like, puro, perfect, dude. Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's kind of where the fun stops for me, man. Where I'm like out at 2 a.m. trying to like remember the chemical indicator and being like, this is purple, I should be good.
Yeah.
But it's mainly rich guys that do that because the other people, you're wasting your coke testing it.
True.
Right.
So you can't do that.
You just got to put it on the line.
And you have to remember
Respectable.
that a lot of these people are trying to like sober up. Like they're like, oh, I drank too much. I need a little bit of blow to fucking.
Yeah, true.
So they're not gonna pull out a beaker.
True.
Those aren't the beaker people. The people that drank too much aren't pulling out the beaker.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I just I'm such a fucking pussy with all this shit. Like I'm such like a health weirdo that I just can't believe it that like you roll the dice on that. You know, it's like, dude, it just drives me nuts. It's like, dude, what are you doing, dude?
Right.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to fucking sleep.
Exactly.
Why would you want to counteract alcohol and be like, I need to be sober again because I got too drunk? And it's like, dude, go to fuck to sleep.
Never
Stop.
understood.
I don't understand it at all.
It boggles my mind. Like you got drunk to get drunk, and now you want to sober up, and they're like, yeah, it's the best.
So you can drive
sober up.
home.
Yeah.
True, but I can do that. I swear to God, if I'm drinking and I can smoke enough weed where I can kind of like, I kind of do feel like I'm kind of floating. The last time I did that, I was in an ice cream place. Like I left the bar and I was in an ice cream place and I was like staring at the board like, dude, get it together. Pick something. And I was like, I'll have peanut butter crumble. And the dude's like, dude, that's a topping. And I was like, fuck. I blew my cover. I blew my fucking cover. I was next to my wife. I was like, God damn it.
Peanut butter crumble.
Oh, the peanut butter crumble. And he's like, okay, on what? And I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
We should leave. Yeah. So, but I never understood that either. It's like, dude, just what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm hammered now. I got to conduct business. It's like, dude, go to fuck home, man.
Yeah.
I need to snort. Yeah, I get it though. If you're getting sloppy and you continue to, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I think that never got its hooks in me.
Yeah, that's the whole point of getting drunk is so that you go home and you fucking, eat some leftovers or whatever the fuck and fall asleep. Like, be gross.
Be shitty. Yeah, just be a slug and
it's better to just
collapse.
be shitty than to shove stuff up your nose so that you can be shittier.
Punch a hooker, I guess.
Yeah.
I might fight a hooker later. Let me be awake.
Yeah. It's better to like be drunk, go home and eat leftovers than to be drunk, sober up, go home and like cook an actual full meal and then go to bed.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like what are you repairing yourself for in the middle of the night?
I never understood it. Every time I saw it, I was just always kind of like, I know dudes who would do a lot of coke would also buy Xannies because they wanted that to like pass out.
Yeah,
but it's like, dude, sleep's the goal. That's every day. It's like, I'm trying to get to sleep.
Yeah.
You get to sleep, that's the goal. I can't imagine artificially prolonging that for your own pleasure.
Yeah.
I remember there was a lot of my friends got into drugs and we were in this apartment complex and this whole place was just like it was a nightmare. It was just all these kids moved in near each other and they all were doing tons of Percocets, pills. It turned into like heroin, coke, all this stuff. And there was these girls that like started taking Ambien and then they would take Adderall. Because like if you force yourself to stay awake on Ambien with Adderall, you start to like just lose your mind apparently.
Oh my God.
And they were trying to sell me on it. They're like, you should do this. And I was like, no, I don't even want to take Ambien to go to bed. I'm like, I'm good on all that. And they're like, dude, it's sick. And they're trying to, and then like 5 minutes later, one of the girls just collapsed, fell down. It was funny being that young where you'd see a person collapse and be like, just like, whatever, I'm out of here. This apartment sucks. Just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just left.
That's what happened in Youngstown. All my homies that were just drinking beers ended up, it just goes, it's just one direction.
Yeah, that is crazy though, because I do get that though, because if you try, you're like, drugs are bad, and you're like, beer rules, and you're like, weed rules, and then it's just like, bam, there is that level. They hit you with that, and you're like, I'm functioning pretty well right now. And
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, you're a cokehead now. It sucks.
Yep.
Because that doesn't, you don't age out of it. I know I've seen that like pester dudes into their 30s where like, I knew someone who, you know, they would do it here and there, all the blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, you just assume they stop, but people don't. People become like 35, 40, and they're still trying to rip lines. And like I knew someone who got kicked out of their friend's wedding because they were just doing coke in the bathroom. And like their friend had to be like, dude, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
He got like, someone discovered it and kicked him out, and he had to be like, dude, get it, go home, man.
Yeah. And it's, you know, what really sucks is the people that end up, you know, doing coke after they drink, it ends up ruining drinking for them because then they can't drink without thinking about coke.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you can't drink anymore.
Yeah, true.
And you ruin drinking for yourself.
It's greedy.
Yeah.
'Cause there's no like Willie Nelsons of coke. There's no like charming 80-year-old just like a little bump. You know what I mean? You never see that.
100%.
You got to age into stuff, dude. And I always tell people like that's the ultimate sucker drug, dude. Coke is bad.
Yeah.
I don't know any good story. It never played out well.
Yeah. My older brothers, I'm so lucky to have a brother that's 12 years older than me and 16 years older than me. And we were supposed to go to Cedar Point one summer. You ever been to Cedar Point?
No.
It's the world's greatest amusement park. It's in Sandusky, Ohio. And I was like 8 or 9 at the time. It literally has the world's tallest roller coaster, the fastest roller coaster, the world's fastest standing roller coaster, the world's fastest sitting roller.
They claim a lot of records out there too. Like we have the biggest mall in the world. It's
it
like,
really
dude,
is.
Shut up.
It really is fucking nuts. Like
that's fucking
you can't
crazy.
tell the scale because everything is a record-setting thing, but it really
insane.
is. And
Jesus,
I was
Christ.
like, we would go every summer for one day, and
What the fuck is that thing?
yeah, that's the Top Thrill dragster right there.
So you just fall down that hill?
Oh, it shoots you. It launches you from the normal pace. It's a record-setting thing from the get. I think that's what that is, unless that's a new one.
Oh my
But
God.
that's the real shit. That map right there. Yeah, that's the shit. So that shows you everything. It's a fucking island with all these crazy rides.
That's sick.
The world's fastest wooden roller coaster up there. All this shit.
It's
Anyway,
$40, dude. You can buy that. I might have put that in my house.
that's the shit.
That'd be a sick thing to frame.
But my brothers used to take me there one day every summer of the year, forever. And I was like 10 or 11 at the time, which would put them at what, 26 and 30, basically. And they lived in Columbus, Ohio at Ohio State.
It's like dads, basically.
Exactly.
That's kind of nice.
Totally was nice, especially when you don't have a real dad.
He split in half. He multiplied himself. He's like, yeah.
So one year, and you know, when you're like 10, you're like, mom buys you like an outfit for like a thing. So I remember I had like this like blue polo and blue shorts and new white shoes with white tube socks laid out. And we get a call. They were supposed to drive from Columbus to Youngstown to pick me up, a 2-hour drive. And then we were going to drive 3 hours to Sandusky, Ohio.
I mean, that's heaven for a little brother, dude.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. And I get a call. My mom goes, they want to talk to you, Tony. She like sounds sad at like whatever, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. whenever they were supposed to pick me up. And I get on the phone and my older brother, one of my older brothers goes, hey man, we partied a little too hard last night. I'm going to tell you something. We're not going to make it to Cedar Point today.
Oh no.
And it crushes me to tell you this, but the reason why we're not taking you to Cedar Point is because we did so much cocaine last night. And this is a lesson for you because there's nothing we would rather do. There's nothing we would rather do than to take you to Cedar Point. But we did so much cocaine. And this is a lesson for you. Don't ever do cocaine.
What?
Don't ever touch it. Not even a little bit. Whatever you do, never try cocaine.
So they had an intervention for you, basically.
At 10 years old. And I'm literally like, what's cocaine? But you know what?
They're getting their dick sucked. They're like, this shit sucks. All right. They're on the edge of an infinity pool. But listen to me. Listen. You can never do this shit.
But to their credit, that
That's
shit
awesome.
fucking worked. It stuck with me forever.
That was very brave. Yeah, they didn't have to. They totally didn't have to call you to do that.
Right. But it really stuck with me. So like
that's also that's young enough that like burned that into your head too, because you have Cedar Park or Cedar Point, and you're just like, dude, that's crushing. You're like, now Coke, you're like, yeah, that shit actually sucks, dude.
Right.
You don't get to have fun.
It literally, and I've thanked them probably 50 times each throughout my life.
Yeah.
I go, it's gonna, and I all the time. I literally go, thanks for that fucking thing, because I'm positive I would have tried it.
For sure.
Even post that, there's been so many ridiculous temptations. Rappers, celebrities, famous comedians, just good friends late at night that are like, come on, just try a little. Wildly cool, successful people that are like, this is 100% pure. This is literally the best cocaine on planet Earth. Just do one little tiny, and it's on like a golden spoon with a diamond on it, and you're like, this wouldn't affect anything negatively. But and then the last second, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the Cedar Point 10 years old fucking morning call, which was, traumatizing at the time, but ended up being correct.
For real, that was the move, man.
I never pictured them getting their dick sucked on the edge of an infinity pool. Kind of changes everything now. If I would have seen what they were actually doing at the time, I probably would have done it.
Also, they could have been standing over like a dead lady and been like, look, man. So they could have not been that. They could have been like, bro, trust me, dude. We got it could be either or.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's my dad claimed that he had a trailer pull up to his house when he was a little kid, and this would have been in like the early 60s. And he said they had like a morgue on wheels where they let little kids walk in there, and there were just dead bodies in a trailer, and like, that guy did drugs, that guy did drugs, this guy did drugs. And he said his dad made him just look at dead bodies. He's like, that's what happens if you do drugs. Wow. So they were that strict about it when I was growing up. They were like, if I got caught drinking, I would get grounded for like a month. I got caught a bunch of times though. So I was like, I got caught back to back. But if I got caught smoking weed when I was younger, which I did all the time, he was like, you're grounded for a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so that at least, like, I think that kind of helped too. And I knew people in high school who got into coke, and I remember being like, nah, man, I'm good on that. I'm fine. And then I got to watch them so young get kind of strong. They had like a period where everyone thinks they're fine on coke, and when you're not doing it, you watch people kind of like escalate themselves, and you're like, no, I'm good on that shit. I'm cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So few people can do it calmly and cool.
Have you ever seen a cocaine booger?
No.
Where they do so much coke that it burns their septum.
Oh, no, dude.
And then when they take it out, it's like just blood, and it's just really their skin. It's all dead. And if they're really big coke addicts, they'll eat that booger.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
I just got my deviated septum fixed, by the way.
How'd you end up with
sucks, bro. I just get hit in the face, I think, constantly. They say it can happen like birth trauma, too. They say like on the way out, you can kind of just... Because I was getting sinus infections, and my wife was going to... It's the only thing I do health-wise. My wife was going to ear, nose, and throat guy, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll go to one. I think my nose is fucked up. I went, and he's like, dude, you got like an 80% obstruction. It was on this side. And I used to play rugby and shit, so I know I got just waffled in the face a bazillion times, which they say that can do. They don't really understand either.
Right.
But so mine was fucked up from whatever. Yeah. But
it's just getting smushed.
It was just like curved from what the guy told me. It was like just got kind of curved over, and then like it like fluctuates during the day. Apparently, like 20 minutes, this nostril's open, this nostril's open. So I'd have like times where it's just I can't breathe at all because it was this one's turn. But yeah, the fucking surgery sucks, dude. Yeah. I watched that Rogan thing from years ago, and he's like, yeah, it's fucking nothing. And I was like, yeah, this will be sweet. I was fucked.
Yeah.
For like 6 days, I was laying there like, dude, I must be the biggest pussy in the world. Because I'm like, this shit sucks, dude.
One thing I've learned from being friends with him for a decade and a half is that if Rogan says it's easy, that means nothing.
It sucked, dude. I was like scared to do it, so I watched that like 10 times, being like, it's easy, it's easy. I know it's definitely easy, and dude, it fucking sucked so bad. I had silicone plugs in my nose for 6 days.
Ugh.
And it fucking blew, dude. And every time I'd swallow a sip of anything, my ears would pop and like fluid would pop out. It was disgusting.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
I tell people all the time, everyone's always like, dude, it's like when they pop those out, it's just amazing. I'm like, no, my nose felt still shitty.
Yeah.
I'm happy they did it and like after months of it, but like, dude, that shit fucking sucks. Like it's cool to get air through your nose, but I'm almost like.
Did they put you out for that?
Yeah, dude, they put me under.
Yeah.
They actually gave me fentanyl when I came out of it. They're like, we're gonna give you something for the pain. I'm like, what are you giving me? They're like, fentanyl. And I'm like, what? And dude, I was vicious. I was so mean. My wife came in, There was some stuff bubbling under the surface anyway, but like she came and picked me up, and I was fully just like, leave me the fuck alone, dude. That stuff is nasty.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was very, very like it was like I would try to talk and like my temper would just go fucking flying.
Wow.
I'm like, why did you guys? I was fine too. I didn't even like I wasn't in pain. They're like, we're gonna give you a little something extra.
Oh, they love it.
Blasting me with
Yeah,
the
doctors love trying to give you shit.
True.
Yeah, it's just a little something for the pain.
Dude, they're like, we're just gonna give you a little bit of
Yeah.
and I was like, what is it? Like, it's fentanyl. I'm like, what, dude? Stuff's got a bad rep, right? Why are you giving me this?
Yeah, I had a wisdom tooth out. I've never been put under. I've never had a serious surgery.
It's creepy.
Even when I broke my leg into 2 pieces, I got run over by a car.
Oh.
Yeah.
Monster truck?
No, it was a chick driving a.
Oh, no.
It was the girl. It was my girlfriend in high school, and she dropped me off at home, and my backpack was in her trunk, and she forgot that I was getting my backpack out of the trunk, and she starts backing up, and I'm like, oh shit, and I almost made it out. I almost fucking went back and pivoted, but just the back of my left foot got stuck under the tire, and it went all the way, and it went crack completely into 2 pieces. And I was laughing. It was weird. Like there wasn't really pain yet at all. Yeah. It was just shock and yeah. But what the fuck was I just gonna say? I didn't even take any pain pills for that.
What?
But when I got my wisdom tooth taken out, I can't remember when was it, like 13 years ago. Who gives a fuck?
They didn't put you under for that. They did local anesthesia.
No, I wanted to stay up for that too. I have a weird thing where I'm like,
Sicko.
I don't trust these fucking anesthesiologists
True,
for
it's
a second.
fucking creepy,
That's a
dude.
weird job.
They knock you right out, dude. And it's
I don't trust any of these motherfuckers.
True.
You know what I mean? You're on a fucking airplane. It's a bumpy landing. You're like, if that was an anesthesiologist, I'd be dead. Yeah, if you're a little bit off on that shit, you're dead. So I don't trust anybody.
And dude, everyone's different. My wife has a thing where she pulls herself out of anesthesia. So there's like everyone's body's different because they ask you like, have you ever had anesthesia before? Because they're that first time they don't know how you're gonna react.
Right.
She came out of her wisdom teeth. She was like on a thing that it knocked me out. She came out of it and was just like and like started Godzilla, and they had to be like, dude, chill.
Yeah.
They had to cancel her surgery, and she had to do the localized for. They got one of them out, and she had to go back and do it all again.
Yeah. I went
Sucks.
local. They're just fucking shooting it up, and they pull it out, and the dentist or the oral surgeon goes, I'm giving you, these 10 pills. Feel free to, take one if you're feeling pain. It's just a little something for the pain. That's what they say. I can't remember if it was Vicodin or the other one.
Percocet.
Tramadol.
Tramadol's bullshit, dude. Don't get me started on tramadol. They took even that for my nose. That stuff is weird.
Doesn't work?
It doesn't. It's like they give it to dogs. It's like dogs. Because I told the guy when he did my nose, I was trying to hard ass it, and I'm like, no pain pills, bro. I don't want any of that shit.
Right.
And he was like, when I came out, they gave me tramadol. I was like, yes, please, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And it just makes you. I've taken Percocets. I've taken Vicodin before, and they're at least some. I see why people get addicted to those.
Mm-hmm.
Tramadol is unpleasant all the way. It feels like you're just on like a weird. I can't explain it, man. It's not. It's technically not chemically an opiate. It just like hits the part of your brain and makes it kind of like turn on an opiate receptor, but it feels weird. Feels like a dark, shitty, confusing. There's nothing comforting about it, which is probably why they're good to give people as they're not addictive at all.
Well, the thing that they gave me wasn't that. I think it was.
What year was it?
This was like 13 years ago.
Oxycontin.
They gave you the oxycodones or the Percocets.
It may have
Percocets
been
or Vicodin.
Codone.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't the cotton, or else I would have remembered that. But maybe it was
Oxycontin
oxycodone.
is oxycodone,
Right.
but it's just like
A cuter name.
Yeah, for real.
So I take a half of one. I'm like in pain a couple hours after the thing, a few hours after when the local thing runs out. And I took a half of one because I'm kind of reactive to everything. I'm that guy where like really a shot of tequila and 4 hits off of a blunt, and I'm like already feeling it.
Yeah,
I'm like that guy.
I'm a sensitive instrument too.
Yeah,
I don't need
yeah.
a lot.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm going to take a half of one of these, my first pain pill of my life.
Nice.
And
Congrats.
I start immediately. Fucking 10 minutes later, I'm just sweating and smiling, and the feeling of just overall destiny comes over me of like, this is what you are meant to do. This is true happiness.
No.
This is you.
Thank God he took a half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I immediately had the fucking sensibility to fucking take that bottle. I dumped it while still on it, while literally just in all my glory. I dumped it in the toilet, fucking
Good for
flushed
you.
it. Because I'm like, this is everything.
Yeah, they say people are wired. I took them again. Like I had a friend who got real into them like very young, and I got my wisdom teeth out in high school, and he was like, he was like savvy enough to be like, oh, you're getting wisdom teeth out? I'll buy your script off you. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I don't want these things. So he just like bought them off me for $200. Actually, it's like the worst thing that ever happened to him, but he ended up having a bad deal with it. But
Rest in peace.
No, he's good. He's good now, but he had a tough time with that shit. But so then I was like, damn, I can make $200 with these things. I'm like, I'm gonna get some. We both were like mutually attracted to them for different reasons.
This is much better than not buying beverages.
Dude, I was like, fuck this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
But then, I sold Percocets when I was younger, and he was like, you got to try them, dude, because I never tried them. And he's like, just see what they're like. And luckily they didn't. I took them, and I was like, I guess these are cool. I was itchy, and I remember taking a nap and feeling like I was like floating off of a futon and being like, that's kind of nice, I guess. But I remember thinking like, I'd rather have they were all $5 a piece. I was like, I'd rather have $5. That's not worth $5. It came down to economics for me. I was like, that's not worth $5 for me.
And there's nothing that...
But everyone's different. He took them and it was just like, again, he was like, this is it.
And I know this sounds lame to people that do a lot of drugs, but like there is nothing that people have described to me that I've not been able to obtain from smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
Either you're just a couple hits away. Like I've always been really lucky to be around great weed. Mm-hmm. My friends in Youngstown had the guy, and then when I went to LA, I mean, it was just game on. Yeah. Medical marijuana was just becoming a thing, and then legal marijuana was a thing. Again, this was fucking 20 years ago, 21 years ago.
Yeah, when
I
that
moved
first
to LA.
rolled out, that's actually kind of cool.
So like, you know, what the fuck? To me, I was fucking tripping my balls off on this shit. Everything was hysterical, watching fucking Fear Factor and South Park, cracking up. Like, I mean, to me, I'm like, it just doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, that's what I always said. Because again, I like, my friends got into coke. I remember watching that, being like, cool on that. I tried Percocets, being like, I don't really like. Yeah, for me, it was like a couple beers and a little bit of weed. I was like, that's perfect, man.
Yeah.
But I guess everyone's brain's different. But yeah, I remember thinking like, what else? What are you trying to do with this, man?
Yeah.
You can kind of have a good time. You can function. You can do stuff.
Totally.
I'd be watching dudes just like sweating in an apartment on Percocets. Like, I haven't slept in a week. Can I get some more of it? And it's just like, Jesus
crazy,
Christ, brother. Smoke some. Yeah, I always said that too. It's like, smoke some fucking weed.
Yeah. Watch South Park.
Yeah.
Lemmy Winks.
But I think the opiates specifically hit people who have been like, with like the heavy emotional abuse, it's like just a weighted blanket, and it hits them, and they're just going, finally. Because there's dudes that if you get too ramped up in childhood, you don't know what being relaxed, like you think you're relaxing, but your brain's just going, like they test kids for, what is it? Not adrenaline, cortisol.
Yeah.
Because there's kids that like, I went to school for social work, and like they teach you about like identifying kids like who have problematic backgrounds. And there's kids who will be like, lighting shit on fire, punching people. It's like, all right, your shit's probably fucked. Then there's kids that withdraw inside themselves. So you think these kids are fine. They started giving them cortisol tests, and there'd be kids who are quiet, not moving. Cortisol's through the fucking roof.
Right.
So these dudes come across a fucking, an Oxycontin or whatever, and they're just going, their body for the first time goes, oh, thank God.
Right.
And it's like, dude, you can't compete with that. You're done.
Yeah. Cortisol's the fight or flight response.
That's part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like the stress hormone.
Yeah.
And if you're like you're in your mother's stomach, she was like fighting people at a bus stop doing drugs. You get out, and it's like you're getting abused from the time you're an infant, and then you're like 13 and someone hands you that. Your body finally goes, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You go, what was that called again?
Yeah.
What is this thing? And you're fucked.
Yeah. Were you on Ritalin as a kid?
No, I should have been. I wasn't on it. Actually, I don't know if I should, because I took Adderall in college, and it didn't make me focus. Everyone's like, it calms me down. I was like real social in the library. I'm like, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
I crunched the time release balls. I remember being like, yeah, someone was like, but that was never my thing.
Yeah.
I got manic on that stuff. So maybe I didn't have ADD. I don't know how the fuck it works. I think I do have ADD.
Yeah, it's weird looking back on it. Like they say that it's supposed to calm you down if you're hyper, but what the fuck are they talking about?
I don't know.
It's like they were taking the hyperactive kids and giving them fucking meth.
They do say, and I've heard people say like, yeah, it just makes. I knew people who would get quiet from coke. They'd snort coke and like it gets me kind of quiet. So like maybe I had ADD.
Right.
But also it's like, I don't know. I don't know how that is another one, dude. You got to stop doing that at some point.
Yeah.
Like you can't, if you're like a kid, you can't just, if you can keep taking Adderall in your 40s, but it dehydrates you severely, and it's like
They put me on it when I was a little kid.
oh, so you were on it.
Yeah, they put me on, and I'm pretty sure it fucked me up for life. I'm pretty sure like the coffee cigarettes thing comes because I'm a recovering, without even knowing it, meth addict, basically. And what's crazy is that it like caused more problems, I think, than it solved, because I did have a lot of energy. You know, I was like a bastard kid.
Which is good though,
right?
To have it. I don't understand why you don't want kids to have energy.
I know. And so like the thing is that at school they would call you over the loudspeaker after lunch if you forgot to go to the office to take your pills.
Whoa, like one flew over the cuckoo's nest, dude.
Yeah. And
Jesus,
except
man.
you're at a school with like hundreds of kids, so the entire school could hear who forgot to take their medicine, which was like everybody.
Yeah,
because we're all a bunch of
spaz parade.
Yeah, exactly. It's just an all-star lineup of fucking crazy kids, and it like caused so much stress that it was like embarrassing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, fuck, man.
They would call you down and like come get, and you have to
over
leave
the
class
entire. It wasn't just like specific to that classroom. It was like over the entire announcements, like, you know, tomorrow we are going to be having the football, whatever, the pep rally, and also Tony Hinchcliffe come to the office.
Come get your happy pill. Come get your special pills.
Yeah.
Dude, that would suck. I would have been jealous though, knowing myself back then. I would have loved to have walked through the hallway and been like, psh. Society can't fucking hold me. I need
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of like little tiny traumas that I think
I
never realized until I was older.
Well, people didn't even know that was a thing. People didn't know you could alter your brain chemistry pretty much forever by being severely stressed when you're, because everyone was, you know, coming out of nature, that's how your brain works. You're just severely stressed and it kind of shapes your responses.
Yeah.
And now the last like 15, 20 years, they've been starting to be like, oh, everyone's severely fucked up.
Yeah.
And like people are fucked right now. And they're just figuring it all out. There's a book, The Body Keeps the Score, by, everyone talks about it, Besser Vanderkolk or whatever his name is. This guy was a goat psychologist, and they pulled some bullshit like Me Too-ish kind of stuff on him where it was like he was inappropriate. Dude, this book, for anyone who like likes this kind of stuff, it's like like in psychology, there's like a trauma focused field, and it's like, I think it's one of the most important things anyone can like learn about at all, who like somewhat feels like their mind might be somewhat out of sorts, which is probably pretty much everybody. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy the stuff they talk about, how like you get just zapped as a kid, not realizing it. You build your whole personality on these like marbles, and they just get like irritated throughout the day, and you're like, what?
Totally.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. But yeah, dude, they talk about like your body, even like in soldiers, like there was guys who would like, they would have like a verbal tick because there was like a thing that happened. They'd be replaying subconsciously in their mind that had to do with their right arm, and you just like process it out, and their arm stops moving. It's fucking crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like there's a thing coming out now with like people physically massaging this stuff out of you, which is, I mean, that would be cool if that worked.
Yeah.
That'd be the ultimate heavy ending at the end of it.
Yeah.
They just relieve your childhood trauma, and then they just fucking fab you off.
That'd be so much cum.
That's for you, Dad.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dad. Yeah, it's just whispering, your father can no longer get you. Between that and the lady peeing at the fucking slot machine, that's 2 hard comes. Seeing her lose $1,500.
Oh my God.
Well, shit, dude, we did an hour and a half, man.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that fucking flew.
Wow.
It's always awkward at first. I'm always worried when I'm podcasting that my face is doing like terrible things, or I'm sitting across from someone being like, and I don't realize it, but hopefully I didn't do that with my face.
Yeah.
It's a concern of mine. I got to stop microdosing mushrooms. I don't think it works. I think I'm bugging.
Everybody's doing it now.
Dude, it does. It's good. It is a good thing, but like you got to make sure, you have to test them on days where you're not doing anything, but then you'll get new ones. And so I give myself like a 2-hour window where I'm like, all right, because like the onset will throw me off. It crushed me today. Some guy had to come help hang a TV, and I was in my house like a tall, slim Texas man. Like, I don't look at my fucking arms. I had to hold the TV up for the guy.
Oh shit!
Because I was in a rush. I didn't want to be late, so I was just like, he was like, I'm gonna have to unscrew it. I'm like, I'll hold it, dude. Just go ahead. I'm like, these mushrooms are kicking in. I'm like, some fucking old man sweating, screwing it in. I'm like, just go, dude. I gotta go. Go on.
That's amazing.
Everybody's
doing mushrooms now. At the mothership, this is some inside information, but I'll leak it. Everybody's on fucking mushrooms now.
You heard it here now.
So like everybody's on mushrooms for months, and I'm like, okay. So like I was doing mushrooms here and there, nibbling on them, and then one night I see Ron White with this like white vial of stuff, and he puts something under his tongue, and I'm like, what's that? He's like, it's liquid LSD.
Oh God.
And I'm like, what? You're just doing that? He's like, yeah. You want some? And I'm like, no. And I like held off, and then I saw Duncan do like 2 vials the week later. He's like, Ron, can I have some of that stuff from last week? And like, so then I'm like, okay, if Duncan's doing 2, I'll try 1. And I had the fucking time of my life.
From the LSD.
Oh man, it wasn't what I thought it would be. It wasn't like all like,
it was like a microdose.
It was just pure happiness.
Oh, that's nice.
Pure joy.
I do have I have LSD. I have like a thing set up for microdosing, like in like the alcohol, like where it's kind of like, what's it called? Volumetric dosing. I've been too nervous. I'm gonna start incorporating that because I gotta.
You know what it was? It was
mushrooms.
It was everything that I love out of mushrooms without any of that like creepy stomach fucking.
Yeah.
I think I ate too much. I'm like my own doctor sometimes.
Yeah.
My theory with mushrooms is that my dad ran an Italian restaurant. My mom made the best spaghetti sauce that like even my dad always tried to get her recipe. Her sauce literally like causes arguments in the family because she'll make it for some people's birthdays and this and that. Literally, it's unbelievable. You hear the stories of like, dip the bread in the sun.
Yeah,
it's that good, again. Yeah. It's like the heroin version of that.
Yeah.
So, my theory is that I don't have stomach problems, but my theory on mushrooms is that it hits me crazy because like I burnt away from the acid of the tomatoes forever because I would literally eat my mom's spaghetti sauce fucking 5 meals a week.
Yeah.
So I have a theory that like mushrooms kind of hits me weird because it just feels that way. It feels like it just goes. Doof, doof.
Yeah.
It's an explosion. There's no real microdose for me.
It hits you. Yeah. That's weed comes on. You at least know like, oh, an edible's kicking in. Mushrooms are more subtle, especially when you're taking low doses.
Yeah.
So like, I was sitting there today and I could feel it. I'm like, oh man, dude, this like, let me chill out. Let me collect my thoughts. I sat down to do like a little meditation.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and my eyes were closed and I'm like, nope, this is worse. And it was like, you gotta go do something, busy yourself. And you start to go down the rabbit hole of like, all you ever really do is busy yourself. You think I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. I have stuff to do today.
Story of my life.
I got stuff to do today, dude.
Daily shit right there. Yeah, Joe was telling me because I told Joe, we've had this talk a couple times actually, where I'm like, I can't do edibles at all. I can smoke blunts with Snoop and with fucking Doug Benson and with Willie Nelson, all this shit. I can hang with anybody smoking weed. Blunt after blunt. I have 3 blunts in my pocket right now in a special container.
Yeah.
But I cannot have the smallest amount of edibles. And he explained to me that there's actually a chemical that's in our system. It's some long
liver.
fancy word.
It changes it
and
from
some
one
people
thing.
have it and some people don't.
Bro, the edibles, I used to be all about them, but like, dude, it's especially now too, they hit me. You can take edibles that are in an alcohol tincture and then it kind of like, it kicks in faster and more, you don't wait like an hour and a half and it hits you at once. It kind of gradually onsets, but even that, it'll get away from you where it's like.
I don't do anything anymore. I don't do the 1 milligram.
No,
I don't do the 0.5 milligram. I have given up altogether.
Yeah, they're honestly, I was way into them for a while and like, you just might as well just take mushrooms. If you're going to do a weed edible, just take mushrooms, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Weed edibles fucking crush.
Right.
I'd be in a bathroom, like just being like so zoned out that I'd have to be like, I would forget I was in a bathroom, and I'm like, "How's this help? This isn't helping me at all."
That's how all of my edibles ended up. It ended up with me on the cold bathroom floor. And it's better to just have a bad trip on mushrooms than it is to always have a bad trip off of edibles. You kind of sound like a pussy, especially back then before this, like everything's measured out medical.
Oh
thing.
yeah, dude. I used to make them myself.
Right,
dude. That's when I figured out. So I used to make like cakes because I sold weed, so I had like a ton of fucking weed, and I would make these big cakes, and it was again, no one knew what fucking milligrams were, so I'd have all my shake, like a 1/4 pound of shake, and I'd cook it into a cake, into like butter and whatever. And dude, I remember being 19 and like I was just eating this cake and I didn't know it would work. So I'm like sitting there, I'm eating it. I'm like, nothing happens an hour later. And then like, dude, and there was no, like, I couldn't look this shit up. I like heard it takes a while. So I'm like, all right, I'll be patient. I walked around my block once. I'm like, nah, this stuff's bullshit. Gobbled it, dude. And I'm on 95 in my truck with this whole cake. Like, I'll just bring it to my friend's house. Hits me. I felt like I was in claymation, just driving. Like, what the? It had to have been like 1,000 milligram edible. Yeah. And I get to my friend's house. I give it to them. I'm like, guys, try to be. And they just gobbled up. And I remember sitting there for the first time, like realizing I was an animal. And it devastated me, dude.
Yeah.
I've never recovered. I was 19 years old. They all went out and like did shit. I'm like, I'm going to stay here. And I like was just thinking about birds that sit on telephone wires. And I'm like, that's what I am. Yeah. And it just fucked me, dude. I couldn't get over it. Still to this day, I'm like, motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
A fucking animal. It sucks.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
If you don't have the thing to handle those, then it's just fucked up. All mine ended up with my side of my head on the bathroom floor, and I'm like looking at like the grouting or what's it called? The
grout.
tile grout.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is, what is? Where is, what is? Like, it was like I couldn't even like finish questions. It was just
how did
horrible.
they lay it down in the fucking pattern? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's you were just doing like pre-verbal, just
just the dumbest, simplest nothing. And my mind is blown outside where it's like the grout. How do they measure it? They put it there? Is there like a measuring? What? It's just terrible.
That's the worst. The worst part about weed is when you actually do have a profound insight that you forget, and then you go, what am I doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
I figured it all out. Where am I now? And you go, oh fuck, yeah. It's what time is it? And you're like, I'm not a fan.
Well, that's the thing with like my writing process is super fucking weird, which is, really almost everything that turns into a stand-up thing with me is between midnight and 3 a.m.
Really?
And I have to literally it used to be I would try to remember to write it down, and I always would go, this is so good, there's no way I'm going to forget this. And that's what happens 100% of the time you forget it.
Yeah.
But
I
now,
have people all the time, like, you're not going to I'm like, dude, fuck that. I've forgotten good stuff all the time. You have to write it down.
well, now I just have my right-hand man, like my producer, who's almost always within a reach to me. Like, I'll like literally be like, Yoni, write this down, and it literally has paid for itself. Yeah, having another human to write it down is a whole different thing.
Did you ever get into sci-fi with like Robert Heinlein wrote Stranger in a Strange Land, but I remember reading one of his books, and he got a lot of money writing books, but he just eventually started dictating books. He had a guy sit there and he'd be like, once upon a time, like, come on, fucking write this shit, and he would just talk, and he started just talking book. I'm like, dude, that's got to be the sickest shit in the world.
Yeah,
that's gone to the top 10 stuff of just getting chicks wet. Dictating a novel to another person and being like, I'm tired. Just it's awesome.
Yeah.
That shit rules.
Yeah.
I've just gotten to the realm of like paying people, because before you're like, I'm gonna lose all my fucking money. I can't pay people anything. Now I have a bro, and he doesn't. I explained it to my wife. She's like, what does he do? And I'm like, I pay him every week. When I need him, I call him.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't need him for a couple of weeks, and that's fine.
Yep.
But when I need him, it's worth every fucking penny.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Life-changing shit.
He
literally pays for himself.
Yeah, dude.
In fact, he doesn't know this, but I make way more money than I even pay him for.
You need to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to fire him.
But I give him raises every like 3 to 6 months, and he
and
can't
that feels
believe
good
it.
too. Yeah. You get to be like, I can somehow give you more money. So here, have more money. And you're like, oh my God.
Right.
That is a nice feeling.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It turns out I didn't starve or die, so you can have a little more money. And they're like,
right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I hope this doesn't blow up in all of our faces, but we'll keep going.
It's working for now. Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much.
Hell yeah,
that was
thank
awesome,
you.
man.
Fun times.
Appreciate you.
Welcome to Austin,
Thank you,
Texas.
man.
A lot of fun times ahead.
I'm pumped, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Josh.
Thank you.
Sign off. Do you want to plug it? You guys want to plug it? Josh, plug anything? I'm going to be, sorry, I don't want to ask you.
When does this come out? I got a huge, crazy tour that I'm in the middle of and announcing, and it's all happening. All the dates are at TonyHinchcliffe.com, and also newly announced Vancouver, Portland, Seattle, LA, Denver, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Boston, Baltimore, Salt Lake City, San Jose, Dallas, Houston, the fuck is Chesterfield, Montana? Oh, that's outside of St. Louis. Nashville, Tennessee, Fort Lauderdale, and Orlando, and a bunch of other stuff. But that's all me doing stand-up, taking some of the regulars from Kill Tony with me. So that literally goes on sale this Friday. I don't know. When's this coming out?
This will come out tomorrow, probably.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
perfect.
tickets are on sale this Friday. Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Also, I'll be in Spokane this weekend at Spokane Comedy Club, the Comedy Zone, North Carolina, Charlotte, Cap City. I was going to fly here for that, but now I'm here. So I'll go to Cap City and Austin and Magooby's Joke House, Timonium, Maryland. I also announced, I didn't announce them yet, but I'm going to be in Chicago, a bunch of other places. I'll put them on my website. I just locked down a bunch of dates.
So pumped to finally get eventually here now that you guys are here, you and Shane on Kill Tony at the same time. Literally the most requested guest in the history of the show. It's been the last 2 years, you guys.
Really? Dude,
and I don't want to give any secrets away, but it might be an extra big one that we get you guys on. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Dude, that'll be a fucking blast.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Hell yeah.
All right, man.
Rock and roll.